the show where John Romano, Lee Priest, and I vent our frustrations with the world. Lee is sitting in McDonald's blowing leaves, I think, helping the lawn maintenance guys over there. Did they give you a free power tool to work around?
You know, I'm gonna when you start talking, I'll put it on mute when he's blowing, so you don't. Oh, there he goes again.
Oh,
he hasn't been here all morning. He actually looks like Grimace. He's sort of a very round man in a bright high-vis shirt, a hat on, like he's in Saudi Arabia. Work boots and 2 tattoos on the back of his legs.
What do you eat for breakfast at McDonald's, Lee?
This morning I just had hot cakes, pancakes, and 6 eggs on the side.
6 eggs. Wow. Can you buy 6 eggs on the side?
Yeah.
No, we stole them.
They're $1 each.
I know McDonald's sold that. So, like, what? I know you guys have all these like abbreviations, like you call McDonald's Maccas over there. What is like a what are you eating for? I guess breakfast is what? Brekkies?
Brekkie. What are you having for brekkie?
Ah, there you go. John, what did you eat for brekkie?
When you say to people, I see you in a fortnight, they're like, what? Because a fortnight's 2 weeks. But when you say to someone in America, I see you in a fortnight, they're like, what?
Now,
and I also said, like I always said, the main one is when you come here or you go there, when you say fanny, you have to be very careful because, like, fanny in America is your bum. Here, the fanny's the vagina.
Oh, really?
So if you come here and say to a girl, nice fanny, she might fucking slap you.
And Lee knows what they mean. He still gets slapped all the time.
Or she might jump on you and wrap her legs around you.
That's right. Now, John, you know, one of the things we've talked about in the past is, and I know we all pretty much agree on this, that New Year's resolutions are kind of like bullshit. It's basically like people eat like animals for Christmas and all through New Year's, and then they feel guilty and they're like, all right, I got to set a New Year's resolution. And you know that most New Year's resolutions last like, what, a week or two at most? What's with that? Why do people need a New Year's resolution to actually change something in their life?
Because they're so weak that they need like an accountability platform, you know. And as a gym owner, New Year's is a particularly frightful experience because you have everybody, Tom, Dick, and Harry coming in the gym. I'm going to work out, New Year's resolution. Gym's like doing bust out. You can't find a square meter to stand in. And then March 1st, the fucking place is deserted. You know, they're all done. So, you know, it lasts at the most 2 months, usually 2 weeks. But people feel the need to become, you know, accountable. The problem is, they have such little willpower and such little discipline, especially the current generations, that means nothing, the New Year's resolution. It's like if it wasn't for social media, they probably wouldn't exist anymore.
True. Lee, have you ever made any New Year's resolutions that you've actually kept?
No, I never make them because they're fucking stupid. It's like, you know, why do you have to have the first of a year to begin something when it's like, you know, time and dates and shit is just fucking shit made up to fucking control people. So who cares? They're like, this is the thing I don't get to. They say, on New Year's resolution, I'm going to start being healthy and eat healthy. 80% of the cunts wake up fucking hungover in bed, fucking sick from fucking partying the night before. So, oh yeah, let's start off the new year feeling good. You're in bed sick, hungover from fucking drugs, alcohol, fucking eating too much. So the first start of your year is fucking in bed sick. Yeah, that's a good New Year's resolution, you dumb fuck.
I always said that every single day you wake up, you should have a resolution that what you want to accomplish.
You know what they should have on New Year's night? Remember the movie The Purge? That's what it should be. on fucking December 31st, going into New Year's, you just go kill all the fucking dumb cunts. That way the new year would start off fucking good. If we could wipe out half these fucking idiots. And it's like John said, all these idiots go join the gym. I got to join the gym now. I got to join the gym. So that, you know, mid-January through to mid-February, March is packed, and they all fucking die off. But yet the gym still takes the memberships out of their bank account, so it's great for the gym. But the first couple of things, they're all walking around looking at people like, oh, what do I do on this machine? What do I do on that machine? Yeah. So it's too fucking confusing for me.
Being healthy for 2 weeks out of the year is not going to help you live a longer, healthier life. Let me tell you, I just interviewed Robbie Robinson. This guy, for the last 60 years, has been eating good, training, at 4 in the morning, never deviating. This guy will live to 100. He said he wants to be the Black Jack Lane. He will be because he lives the lifestyle every single day. You can't do it 2 weeks out of the year.
the last 2 weeks I've started walking. Like I said, if you see on Instagram, I've been putting up pictures of the beach and shit, but I've actually put 5 kilos on this last 2 weeks because when I go walking, I walk for like an hour and a half, but then at the end of the walk, I stop and have fish and chips and a milkshake and a fucking... So now I've actually been putting weight on, but I think this week I'm going to go buy Rachel and myself a bike. I might start bike riding into town, that sort of thing. So that might help because my love handles are getting bigger and bigger and bigger.
Oh, they are, really?
The top of my shorts used to roll over once, now they roll over twice. So.
Is this
very confusing? It's almost as confusing as this. If anyone can help me out, I've got to try and get the little girl home. There's a few little puzzles on here I can't really do. If anyone can help me out.
Tyler, our producer, is really good at those. You can send them over to him later. He'll help you solve them.
I don't know about the Australian ones.
Join the dots. Birdie has found 6 animals on her flyover in the park. Can you help Birdie find the animals?
Yeah, you guys have the Hamburglar over there. We haven't had the Hamburglar in a long time in America.
Oh, here he is up there. Yeah, because he's got no pants on. He's probably bad for children. He's got no.
There's Grimace. Yeah.
What's a cookie monster?
Oh yeah, the Hamburglar's gone.
What's up, the Hamburglar?
Oh no, he is. There he is. There on the bike. There.
No, he's down
there.
there.
He stole a fucking bike. He stole a bike.
Stole a bike.
Yeah, then discontinued America.
Yeah.
Australia's about 20 years behind America. That's why.
But when I came to the Olympia, though, I did meet the guy. Oh, I forgot his name. I actually got a photo of him. The guy actually was Ronald McDonald for 25 years and did all the commercials and shit. He lives out in Vegas. I met him out there. 25 years he was Ronald McDonald. What do you think of that?
Really? Did he die or what?
No, he's still alive.
He retired.
I had a photo with him.
I wonder if you get like a pension from Ronald McDonald House or something like that, or from the McDonald's Corporation for being Ronald.
McDonald House. No, I think you can only go to Ronald McDonald House if you got cancer or you're dying or something.
Well, yeah, they put you up there. But I wonder if the McDonald's Corporation will give you like a little pension if you play Ronald McDonald for 20 years.
No, you got to join the clown union.
And a pair of red shoes.
You know,
Yeah.
this is a true story. Speaking about clowns, when I was in jail, John, I don't know if you ever watched WWE. There was a character by the name of Dork the Clown, or Dink. Mm-hmm. Was it Dink the Clown? Something like that. And he was in jail with me, actually. He did some kind of money laundering or something like that. Doink the Clown. And Doink was a WWE wrestler. He was very popular. And I heard he just died recently, actually. I don't know what happened. I think he OD'd.
Really?
So.
People are dropping.
I heard Dr. Hook died. The singer Dr. Hook, I heard he died.
Did he?
Did he?
Yeah, you know, with the eye patch on and the cowboy hat.
Yeah.
Oh,
I was playing the video
Captain
clip.
Tennille.
I was playing the video clip in the gym the other day. That baby makes the blue jeans talk. I'm thinking, man, if you tried to make that video clip today, where these 2 guys are following the girl down the street, looking at her ass, walking in blue jeans, fucking hell, the PC brigade would be after you if you made that video clip today.
Now, Ed Corny died. Now, Lee, I know you were living in Venice for a long time, and did you have any relationship with Ed?
Yeah, I got on good with Ed because I'm really good friends with James Mendoza, and James Mendoza is the guy you always see with Ed everywhere. Ed went, he was there, and when I was in England, I gave my friend Aaron Ed's information, and he actually took Ed over there a couple of years ago. Tom Platt, Samir Banu, and Ed went over to England and did like Legends Tour seminar and that. But every time Ed would send me pictures, actually, I should have wore his T-shirt. He sent me a T-shirt and hat only last year and stuff, but. Yeah, I get on great with Ed. Every time he was always funny. Every time I get in trouble with the IFBB, I get a message from Ed. Fuck the IFBB, Lee. Fuck them. You're the best. And then, I won't mention the thing, but I think you mentioned where he used to sit at the Olympia Expos. Well, the person that owns that company that he used to sit with used to be talking to me back in the day. When I got suspended, the guy I'd loaned it wouldn't talk to me anymore. And one day I went to visit Ed at the booth and talking to Ed and that. And when I left, the person come to Ed and said, Ed, I'd appreciate if Lee doesn't come around our booth. And Ed's like, well, if he doesn't come around the booth, I'll fuck off too then. So Ed had my back, so he was a real stand-up guy. If Ed was your friend, he was your friend. You know, it was sort of like that Joe Gold type of thing. He didn't take shit. Like I said, and like I said, I heard you mention about his passing. He was fucking strong. Even after that stroke, I saw videos of him fucking still dumbbell rowing 160 pound.
Really?
James and that doing shrugs with, like I said, I think he said 100 pound. I saw some of him doing shrugs with like 150, 160. So even after that stroke, I said he had a grip on him pretty fucking strong when he shook your hand. So
he ripped your hand off. You know what the funny thing was about Ed? I didn't know this, and this is what was told to me, and maybe I hope it's accurate. He was going in for a shoulder replacement, which I just had 2 weeks ago, and he wound up having a heart attack while they were doing the shoulder replacement, and then they gave him blood thinners, and then he had the 2 strokes from that. So it all stemmed from getting a shoulder replacement. Had I known that, I might not have gone. I might have been a little more scared to get my shoulder replaced.
Oh, it's true, isn't it? Always the good people fucking die. He goes in for shoulder replacement, and fucking dies. This cunt Dave goes in and fucking comes out fine, fucking happy as fucking Larry.
John,
if he had a passed on, this could have been the Lee and John.
John, me and you are doomed. John, Lee, and me and you are doomed to live a very long life so that we can be miserable well into our old age. That's why.
Miserable and in pain.
That's right. That's right. You know, when Ed Corny would say, "Feel my lat," John, he actually had a lat. Unlike who else who likes to feel it, who used to make you feel his lat.
Whereas Blackman would go, "Feel my lat."
John? What was your interaction with Ed Corny? I know you probably knew him too. Back in the day.
He was one of those guys I don't know how or where or when I first met him. It was just probably in Venice somewhere. And I just remember always being at either the Olympia or the Arnold Classic, and you go to the booth, and there he was signing pictures every year, and he'd say, "John," I go, "Hey," he would shake hands, squeeze the life out of my hand, and
always happy, always smiling, never seem down.
Everything. Big smile where his eyes would close.
He loved bodybuilding, this guy. He loved it. He trained probably till the day he died, I bet you. 85 years old.
And that's the thing, don't you think? You see, like you said, you mentioned Robbie Robertson, him, all those guys from that era that loved the sport, loved the training. They didn't do it for the money. They didn't do it for the fame. They just did it as a group of mates that loved training. Yep. They're the ones that seem to carry on and keep living now, where you get these younger guys now who do it for Instagram, fame or whatever, load up on the fucking drugs and do whatever, dropping dead in their 40s and fucking earlier, some of them in their 30s. And it's like, these guys, they use a little bit of drugs, but they said they were just passionate about the sport and the food they used to eat, and they thought they just fucking train their asses off. And look at them, they're still going. Like you said, Robbie Robinson, he put up that picture a couple of days ago in Gold's Gym with his shirt off, and he's like 73, fucking ripped to the bone, looking great. So I was like...
I asked Robbie, I said, "Robbie, what was your drug stack back in the day?" And you know what they would do? He would do 200 milligrams of Deca every 10 days. John, with
6 weeks before the show, they did none.
With IV glutathione, which he was much higher up on the glutathione in his belief system that built his body way more than even the Deca did. But that was it.
Well,
I said, "What do you mean that's it?"
When I was talking to Tom, back in the day, he said they didn't really, as he said, like you said, Deca, maybe a couple of Diana-Bol and stuff like that. He said sometimes Arnold would have in his V-dub just a little jar of D-Bol in the back. Some days he'd grab 5, some days he'd grab 7. It's just like there was no rhyme or reason, but yet they never abused it. They never went overboard.
No.
Some of those guys would train twice a day, mornings and afternoons. Sometimes they'd go back 3 times a day. There's no such thing as overtraining back then. They got their rest in, they ate and just fucking busted their ass.
Right.
Now guys, I can't train more than an hour, and then they spend the other 10 hours a day on fucking social media taking fucking photos under the right lighting. It's like,
that's a really good point, Lee, because back then, and I'm talking, late 70s, early 80s, all right, especially in Venice where the Brotherhood was collected, those guys were actually healthy. They ate clean as clean can be. They trained 4, 5, 8, 6 hours a day. They were either taking a nap on the beach or working a legit job, on the side. And they were legitimately healthy people. They did drugs, the ones that would do them 6-8 weeks before a show. They did none in the off season. Right. And they literally were healthy. And that is such a contrast between then and now. As Lee said, you're doing it for the wrong reasons. You're doing it for social media, Instagram, or whatever. And there's a lot of truth in that. There are guys and probably girls out there willing to die right now for 5-figure likes. So
and did you notice too back then? It's like I've said before, when they ate the basic foods, milk, eggs, meat, and all this sort of stuff for their protein, and trained that long, got their rest in, 6-7 hours a day training, a couple of times a day. Their quality of muscle, to me, it's like, yes, we have guys today, like you have Big Ramy, you have the Branch Warrens and that, who look freaky and have these veins and big muscles. But to me, when you look back at Sergio Oliva, Arnold, Serge Nubret, Bird or Fox, the quality of muscle and that dense thickness of the muscle back then is totally different to today. Like today, yes, it's big, but it looks that sort of puffy, big, and it almost looks squishy, whereas back then, it looked like all these guys were just carved out of marble and stone. And even when they did stop training, they still had that dense thickness to them, where a lot of guys now who have built their bodies mainly on drugs and doing whatever, when they stop training, they all fucking just sort of fade away, get squishy and shit. Whereas you see some of these old guys back then, they still have that quality muscle, even after they're, sure, they got a bit smaller, but they've still got that base foundation there, whereas today you don't see that. I look back at tons of those old photos of those guys in the old days, and just the slabs, the quality of muscle they had, no guy has that like that today.
And they were always in shape. They were always in shape.
Yeah. You're right, John. I asked Robbie about that too. I asked Robbie also, I said, how come the guys in the 70s had smaller legs, than the guys today too? He said, because we didn't want freakishly big legs because it was out of proportion. It was all about proportion and classic lines. And so, we could have built bigger legs, but that wasn't the look that we were looking for. I thought that was interesting.
Makes a lot of sense.
And when
I think too, that's why Tom's legs stood out so much, because they were freakish legs back in the day, because nobody had. Like I said, guys had good legs, but nothing like Platts when he come along. And then even after that, I think back in the 80s or early 90s, used to be Jeff King. He had massive legs and stuff like that.
Paul DeMeo, remember Paul DeMeo?
Yeah.
Robbie Robinson said the two best legs in bodybuilding, in his opinion, was Tom Platts and Paul DeMeo. That's exactly what he said to me during the interview. And you know what the funny thing was? They all had a prescription. They all went to the same doctor and they got a prescription. So they went right to the pharmacy and filled their Decadurabolin prescription at the local pharmacy. All of them.
Yep.
Which was
that
cool.
was prior to 1990.
Right. It was legal then. It was 100% legal.
Like when did the sport go so wrong? Because like I said, I put up that thing the other day on Instagram, asked me a question. I got so many fucking stupid questions, but I could guarantee nearly every third or fourth question, what's the best cycle? What's the best drug stack? What's the best? It's like I said back in my day, like I said many times, yes, we knew drugs are in the sport, but that was the last thing we'd even think about. It was just busting your ass. You watch the biggest guy in the gym, you go ask that guy, hey mate, how do I get big like you? And he'd be like, okay, eat these many eggs, make a shake of milk and eggs and bananas and honey and shit. And like I said, you never even really discussed drugs. It was just one of those things. All you want to do is fucking bust your ass training, lifting a weight. If you saw someone benching 5 plates, you want to be like, fuck, I want to bench 5, I want to bench 5. It wasn't like, fuck, what do I have to take to bench 5 plates? Like I said, it wasn't even a thought in your mind. But now everyone's putting drugs first all the time. It's fucking crazy.
Well, the moral of the story is if you want to have a great New Year's resolution for this year, make a resolution to live every single day of the year.
Come to McDonald's.
Eating right, going to McDonald's with Lee Priest now. Eating right, taking the right supplements and training hard in the gym, because that's what's going to build you guys the greatest physique, and it's going to make it. It's going to make it a permanent type fixture. And if you don't want to do that, then go to McDonald's and fill out.
Dave. Look, I'm talking.
Go fill out Hamburglar crossword
There's enough
puzzles.
chemicals in the food here. You don't need to take drugs.
Yeah, if you eat McDonald's every day, you don't even need to take steroids because it's already there. You're right.
This stuff's got so many chemicals in it. Fuck me, Dad. I'll put on 5
I was convinced. I told you, John, I ate McDonald's every day. I think the McDonald's helped me grow better than the steroids I took there.
Actually, I will actually quote you.
Yeah.
You said it wasn't until I started eating McDonald's every day that I started gaining muscle.
You're right. It's true.
And I actually, and if you want to know, I actually had KFC twice yesterday. So between the chemicals and the chicken and then McDonald's, I said my fucking New Year's off to a good start.
I would like to see a controlled study done, John, where they actually feed someone McDonald's every single day, and then versus the guy who eats like clean chicken breast and tuna and who's on steroids, and see who puts on more muscle. I bet it would be pretty close.
Like I said, I reckon if you went back to the old days and just ate McDonald's and busted your ass like they did back then, and like you said, you had a normal job and did a bit of work, I reckon you'd still get a good physique.
It would not matter. If you trained hard enough, it would not matter.
Do you mean I don't have to count my macros and do intermittent fasting and all this other refeeds and shit like that? Fuck me, Dad. I'm gonna have to make a New Year's resolution.
So, is there any resolutions for a comeback in 2019, Lee?
There's talk. Black Skull's talking about they're going to have a meeting this week or next week about my neck operation. So we'll see what happens.
Oh, are you going to go through with it? You think this year?
If they go ahead and say yes, we're going to get it done. So if that gets done, and I get the muscle back and I get looking good again and I diet down, yes, I Might do a comeback. I should diet on McDonald's and see if I can do a comeback.
Yeah, maybe they could sponsor you, Lee. That would be a great sponsor for you.
You're already there.
Yeah. Go ask one of the hostesses if she could sign you up for some kind of sponsorship.
I probably need KFC and McDonald's. That way, I can have a variety in my diet.
You want to have your options open. That's right.
Well, I got chicken. If I come here, I can have the fillet of fish, and then I can have the beef. So
You need
all
pizza,
bases are
too.
covered.
That's true.
No, I don't like pizza.
Well, you got no. It's very important. Very anabolic food.
Well, guys, I hope you guys had a very happy Merry Christmas, Happy Holidays, and Happy New Year. And 2019 is going to be a great year for RxMuscle and Iron Rage. I want to just thank you guys again for another great year of shows. I really, not only do I enjoy doing the show, but I know the fans really enjoy it, and I appreciate you guys taking time out of your schedules. I know everyone's really busy and sitting down with me once a week and doing this thing.
Yeah, the fans think I'm a fucking idiot, but that's okay.
But they seem to like watching all the idiot stuff you say.
I get tons after even the last one I did with Darth Vader, and I got so many messages saying they love it. They keep cracking themselves up watching all that shit. So
my son wants the gauntlet. My son wants the Thanos gauntlet.
Oh, does he? Just tell people to be yourself. That's what the New Year's resolution should be this year. People just be yourselves. People are either going to love you or hate you. I don't know why.
How about just quit being stupid? I would like if people would resolve to that.
That's
quit being a dumb fuck. Just quit.
That's asking too much, John.
For me, the world.
Wise words from two Iron Ragers. It doesn't get much better than that, guys. Everyone out there, Happy New Year from John Romano, Lee Priest, Tyler the producer, and me. We'll see you next week.
Yeah. Everyone should be like John and I. We're quite stable.